Hi, welcome back to With Love from Mom with Angela and
LaTeka.
All right, so we're back for our 6th episode.
Yes.
So it's been a great journey so far.
It has. We've gotten a lot of feedback. Very good feedback. So we thank you for that. We're just waiting on you guys to send emails of questions and comments, or if you have something on your mind, a topic maybe you want to discuss.
Yes. And also like and subscribe on YouTube and follow us if you're listening on Spotify. So hit that follow and then you'll be updated as soon as we release another episode. All right. So this week, today we're going to talk a little bit about intentional parenting.
Okay.
Just with intention, because we have goals and we want our children to be raised and be successful. So a lot of times we have to be very intentional with what we do, what we say, how we say it, and a lot.
Yep, a whole lot. And I'm definitely thinking of, I guess when I think on intentional parenting, a lot comes to mind.
Yeah.
A whole lot, yeah.
Okay.
And so I've seen sometimes where I have been intentional, I thought at least, but it wasn't to the success, I guess, of the child.
Oh.
It was, I guess, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Well,
Is the scenario coming to your mind? You can remember exactly? I'm about to say
the words
share.
that I say.
Right,
I'm thinking like the words that I say.
Okay.
You know how you think you're trying to build a wholesome child, but sometimes when they get you angry, you say words that you release those words that are they're not intentional anymore, right? They're just blurted out and they're kind of harmful to what you're trying to build. So that came to my mind. Yeah. I'm trying to work on my words. Lord help me.
I think all of us.
Right.
Yeah, those words.
Right. Oh.
I remember one time the kids, they laughed at me because I was trying to not say stupid. And I was like, that wasn't very nice or something like that odd. And they were like, they didn't laugh at that moment. But I think reflecting back probably about a month or so later, they were like, Mama, that was so funny. You were trying to. And I was like, ugh. Yeah, so we have to be careful even with our words.
Yeah.
How we say, I'm sure a lot of people have been through and called certain things. I know I have, and I'm okay.
You're right. I have, but I'm okay.
You're right. Yeah. So it's like, okay, yeah. But I guess if you know the struggle of maybe those hurtful things that were done to you, you probably understand better and know what you don't want to say or how you want to treat your child when you are angry or frustrated.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point because when you've been raised a certain way, and that's how I think, when we were talking about intentional parenting, we were saying like, okay, well, you're raised a certain way, or I think I was saying, and you kind of mimic those same behaviors until you learn better, right? And then you become intentional, like, okay, I don't want to mimic those. Even sometimes, let me go back, because even sometimes you say, I don't want to mimic this behavior, but you find yourself doing that same exact thing that you did not like that your parent did to you, right? So then I guess when we talk about intentional parenting, we want to do the things that we think of and say. It's kind of, practicing what you preach, doing what you say. If you say something, do it. Let your yays be yay and your nays be nay. So, so when I am upset, I don't want to say, and maybe that child is lying, right? I don't want to say you're a liar, because even though they're exhibiting that right now, I probably want to pull something out of them that's better.
You want them to grow out of that,
right? So I want.
You're not gonna be a liar always, but we're gonna deal with this right now,
right? Exactly, right? Because you don't want to
get this out of you.
Yeah, you don't just want to make them seem like you just don't ever trust them, right? Because I built that up before in certain kids, so that's why I'm saying like intentional parenting.
I'm a liar.
will come
okay,
to me.
I'm gonna show you.
Right, and everything they do, you be like, see, you lied on that. See, you lied on that.
Yeah, you don't want to project things on them, right?
Yeah, so you want to say, I know right now you're making a bad decision in lying.
No, but you have to call it what it is too.
Yeah. So now, see, and so yes, you do, and then you want to also not always have them feeling that guilt of lying.
Right.
So I don't know. Parents, Angela,
right.
I'm still learning, and so
we all are.
Yeah.
And that's why it's good to have these conversations because, like we said, you can take whatever you want from people, and just learn and just become a better person for it when we share. But no, since you brought up lying, that was one thing that I used in the house. I would call it what it was. If you're lying, you're lying. And so, did I say you were a liar? No.
Right.
But you're lying. And it was funny because then it became a point where when the kid will, one of my children will see or hear someone else lying. You're a liar. You're a liar. I remember somebody was like, you don't call anybody a liar. Don't say lying. Tell a story or you're fibbing because those are the things that we said. So I kind of felt a certain way, like I wasn't mad at them for saying that, of course, because everybody has their opinions and what's respectful and what isn't. But no, I don't agree with liar. But if it's a lie, it's a lie. Just like when they were like, "Mommy, I was playing a trick on you," and it was a lie. I'm like, no, that wasn't was a lying trick. I mean, because I just feel like you should call it what it is. If the Bible says all liars shall go to hell, then guess what? You better stop lying. Just to get out of that liar mode, whatever.
Go to hell. No,
if you don't stop it,
you don't stop. Yes.
So I mean, of course, I think everyone, they have that learning process when you have to learn to stop lying and be fearful and of telling the truth because you're afraid of whatever the consequences may be. But
so that's intentional, right?
Intentional.
It's intentionally training them in the way of the scripture of saying like, okay, you lying. And I'm not saying that you're a liar, but because of this lie, it's gonna get you into hell because that's what the Bible says. All liars shall have their part in the lake. Right. And so that's definitely true. And sometimes I think because of that intentional or that bluntness of calling the spade a spade, sometimes I wonder, like, am I putting a bad thing on them, which when I really want to get out of them to be honest,
Right.
And so I think intentional parenting has to do with trying to build up your child to kind of meet that target of what you want them to do. Right. And it's very, I guess you've got to be very strategic.
Very. Because God is with us, right?
Yes.
He's strategic with
us.
But
He's awesome. I'm not awesome like him.
No. Of course. No, I'm not saying that. But he is strategic in how he grooms us and the things that we go through and paths he takes us on in our lives, right? So we have to be strategic in how we talk. But I think one of the things, too, of being intentional, you have to communicate it, too. And so that way, if you have a goal or vision for your family, for a particular child, because we have to train them in the way they should go. And, of course, they all have different personalities, right? So it's like one of those things where I'm talking to you. I'm letting you know this is what we're looking forward to. This is what we're building in you. So we have to communicate that, and sometimes, in the heat of emotion, you just might say some things, but but being intentional too. I know we've had a conversation where it's like, mommy and daddy make mistakes. So to even teach them how to be forgiving themselves and other people, because people do things that, so people say they don't believe in mistakes, but everybody's learning life. Every day is a new day. So we don't get that day over, but we're learning, okay, can't do that again, can't say that again. So I just even try to teach them that. They may not remember, but those are the things I, try to instill in them too, so that they can have room for forgiveness, for themselves and others, and us as parents too.
And because I guess we're not perfect, right? How do you deal like when you do something incorrect? Because sometimes I can be hard on myself. Now I think I'm finally learning like how when I say no or whatever, not to feel so bad about that no, because it was really for their best interest, but sometimes we can, we don't want to see our children suffer or go through any hurt or pain or anguish. So when we say no, it's kind of like, okay, well, let me do this for you or whatever like that. And so okay, I see your facial expression is showing that you've experienced it. So what do you do, Angela, in those times? Like when you feel like, okay, you made a decision and maybe say it was a good decision, but maybe it was too harsh. Let's say, okay, I know I deal with that. Something that was too harsh. What do? How do you backtrack? Do you go read a book and then you say, okay, you go back and communicate? What do you do in those situations?
Okay. In those situations, you know. Okay, so when you say read a book, I'm thinking, no, I don't think I have time in there. But I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I think there have been times where I'm just like, ooh, you know, you want to give in, or there may have been times when I have, but then there's times I'll say no because, look, I want to see how you're gonna respond to this.
Right. Okay. I remember.
Can you take a no? I mean, because especially when you say no and you see them just really melt before you, and it's like, what? You know, I could do like worse than that if you like.
Right.
But no, it's just that no. I want to see how you're gonna respond. Sometimes I say no just to see. Are you gonna trip out? Or are you gonna handle it? And a lot of times I'll tell them too. You know, I just said no, but you how you're acting, it makes me say that I made the right choice by telling you no. So you know what? Let's see how you respond next time.
That's good.
You know, because if you can handle a no, I may have changed my mind.
Right.
But if you're not accepting it or taking it well, then yeah, I made a good choice because now you need to learn how to take a no.
That's good.
And like you have to deal with their consequences, you know, for their actions of certain things. It's like, okay, if I say no, you need to learn to take it.
Yeah, because some of us aren't good at taking no's.
No.
I don't think I am.
Hey.
So
because everything is not, I'm sorry, because everything is not, you know, in our control.
Right.
You know, life is, you know, yeses and nos, and you have wins and losses, and you know, you just sometimes really don't like to see that person that that can't get their way.
Yeah. Well,
you know,
that's good. That's good, and that's kind of helpful to me. Just me myself, because I'm getting better, and I know that I am only because, like, if something said no, I will always try to find another way to do something. I was like that type of person, especially. Like, no, you don't tell me no. I tell myself no.
Right.
And so,
right.
I don't know what that stems from. You know, I don't know what that could stem from, but I never thought of it like that. You know, and I think I've seen some of my children that are kind of like that too. Like you tell them no, and they think of other things. Let me see, I can do it this way. I can do it this way. But no, I was just telling you no because no, I don't feel that that's the right decision for you. Right. And sometimes no is the better decision for me. It's time God has told me no on certain things, like places I wanted to go, and He's like, don't go there. And I had to listen, and I would be actually on my way there. Right. And I would have to turn around. Yeah. I remember one time being in the car with my kids, and we were going somewhere, and I was like, and I heard the Lord said, no, don't go there. Like that. We were all dressed, and I'm like, Mom, why you can't go? Right. And I was like, dang, you know. Right. Yeah. I was like, God, I don't want us going. You're like, but they don't know. You know, I don't know if I shared it with them at the time. Right. Or I'm pretty sure I did because I'm kind of like that, you know. And they just have to accept it or not. But no, it's hard for me. It used to be extremely hard to accept no. Now it's like I'm learning the will of God, and it's how God wanted to go. Right. So I kind of just like, okay, I don't like no still, but I have to learn it because it's not up to me. You know what I'm saying? It's up to God. So no. Ooh. The power of no. Yeah, the power of no. And I guess when you say you don't know where it stemmed from, you not liking the no and not accepting it, I guess mine was hearing no. You know, like things are just not going to go your way. You know, and I remember I would get so crushed, you know, if things didn't go my way, especially if I planned for it and, you know, you see things mentally and you're just like, okay, and your emotions get involved, or you know, it may not be you that said, I'm going to take you somewhere, you know, but you're ready to go. Right. And so I would just be like, man, I remember I got to a point where I was just like, well, I'm just won't look forward to anything. You know, I'm going to always look for things. I've been there before. To not go my way. Is that good? No, I don't think so. That's another topic for sure. Okay. But I know, the no's are good sometimes, and I'll explain why, or sometimes I can't explain. Just like sometimes we don't always have the reason why God may say no, or husband say no. Right. But it's just like one of those things where, you know, I know for them, if you hear it, and when you do hear it, and I say if, but when you do hear it, you can accept it. Yeah. And that's a training, and it's like that's maturity. That's, you know, just knowing that's just how the world goes. But then also with that no,
knowing when to be persistent. It might be no for now, or it might be how you presented it to me.
Right.
So there's different ways to teach it.
And see, I think that's what I struggle, even just as a mother.
Right.
And as a wife and as everything, with just the simple fact of hearing no, and me just being a persistent person like I am. So if somebody say no, I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna try to do it this way. Oh no, until I had to realize that, okay, those no's ain't really from them, it's for God, because every promotion comes from God. So anything that happens in your life comes from God. You know. So yeah. So I guess I kind of now understand the kids if I tell them no and they don't understand. So I give them that communication.
And you learn their personality too.
Yeah.
You learn their personality. Because depending on what they're asking for, is it maybe I didn't ask the right way, or maybe that means just not right now, or maybe if I just, package it a little better, mom would say it, so being persistent, being assertive, and just knowing, but still understanding, the no. And sometimes you won't always get it. It just be no. So,
and communicating sometimes if you can. If you have a reason why you're giving that no. Yeah. I don't know. But so I guess with this intentional parenting, you got to be flexible too, right?
Yeah, of course. All right. I mean, because what's funny is with the intentional parenting, if one is honest, you're learning a lot about yourself too.
Yeah, you see how I keep on going back. That's me.
You're learning a lot about yourself too. So it's like, are you gonna be firm? Are you gonna give in? Just are you gonna be that consistent, strong parent? Or, just how you deal with them too, because a lot of times we react off of what they give us, the energy. So it's a matter of us also taking that in and learning too.
Wow.
And so it goes both ways.
Right. When you say reacting too off of the energy that they give you, that is so true, because I'm thinking about one time I was being intentional with my parents, and it's just recently actually. And I had to make a decision, and in the end, it was like God was like, that was a good decision. But now I'm seeing the repercussions, or not really the repercussions, maybe that, what is it, like when a child displays a certain behavior.
Okay.
I'm seeing that behavior from that no.
The reaction.
Yeah, like you were just saying, the reaction. I'm sorry.
Right. No.
The reaction from it, and you're like, wow, you're responding like that because of this.
Right.
Oh wow! But as a parent, it's making me have to love them more.
Yeah.
Oh my! And it's being more intentional. Like, wow, dang, they kind of good on me. You see, your child is kind of, what is it like when they kind of standoffish against you and kind of
give you hold grudges?
They're mad at you. They're mad, but they're not gonna say that they're mad. They give you hugs and kisses and love, but you have to really kind of dig deep and say, let me still love this child, because even though I made this decision that I know they didn't like, and it was, I love you, and I made it because for a good reason, but I see what's in you now because of that, and I also see what's in me. I see what's that in me. I still got to be kind and gentle and persistent in my loving and show you that I love you, even though I felt like I was showing it always anyways.
Right.
You acting like I didn't love you because I said no.
Yeah. It's funny too, because sometimes, and this timing too, because yes, we show the love and all that, but sometimes when they want to show themselves, and get rude and upset and show you the anger, I'm like, you want to see mine?
Right.
It's my turn.
What do you do? Okay. So wait. But I had that incident today. This morning before school, and my son, he didn't like the whole long conversation that I give, because I give sermons sometimes when I'm parenting.
Both talk a lot.
Right? And so he didn't like what I said to him or whatever. He was like, no. I said, so for a minute, because that was my flesh rising up, honestly. I was like, well, what do you like if I get mad? If I say, I don't care. Okay, I don't care, go do it. He was like, no, you're not doing that. He didn't get. I was like, oh, really? I said, okay, I'm going to be like that. But then the Holy Spirit had to help me, right? God had to help me. Because I don't want to be like that. Right. But I was like that. And so I was like, okay. I was like, Well, yeah, I had to take a lot of deep breaths and a lot of praying
because I was like control and intention. Like,
because if I'm getting on the same level as him and mimicking him, there's nothing going to come out of everything I just preached about and gave my sermon and spoken. I see the goodness in you, and I see, you're a leader and all that I didn't say. It goes out the window. Yeah. So I couldn't get on his level, and I had to intentionally say, well, I love you. Okay, well, you want this? Okay, you can have that. It wasn't I was giving in to him. It was something that was his. I was like, okay, and that he allowed me to have. So I had to just give it back to him. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it to you, and you still got your mind made up on what you're gonna do. Okay, but then afterwards, I still saw him angry, because he can hold those type of grudges, right? And so I gave him a hug and a kiss. I'm like, I don't want no kiss. But then I began to see him melt with that kissing and that love, and still, and so mama, right? Okay. And he was just, still, but it wasn't. He didn't leave the house in anger. Got it. He left the house, like, she kissing me, Right. So I felt good when I, later on down the road that I didn't get on his level. I had to be intentional to kind of be gentle and kind because he's strong-willed. And for a strong-willed child, if you get strong-willed right back, that don't mean nothing. Like, if people get strong-willed with me, I don't care. I'm not afraid. Like, it'll be the battle of the strength. Right. Oh, you holding out? I'm holding out. Right. Oh, you strong? And you, of course, it's kind of like, well, I'm the parent and that's the child, but still, you know what I'm saying? You want to be able to reach somebody, and sometimes all people and children, you just can't be that tough with, because I did it before, and that's why I'm kind of saying that. So I've done that before. Like, okay, they crazy. We all, right? We all crazy. You bad? You beating on your chest? Right. Yeah, I'm a gorilla too, so that was bad, and that didn't turn out right until now. I learned another way. So it's definitely important. Like, I don't know. I was telling you before. And I'm talking. You're good. Before I had, like, with my first two, I don't know if I was really as intentional, as a parent, So now that I'm maturing, I'm learning to do things, because I want them to hit that target, So I'm learning to do things better. So I don't know, parents, if you started off as an intentional parent, or if you matured, or when you got older, or what clicked for you? What clicked for you to make you think like, okay, this is the strategy I want to use. This is the character I want to use. I want to, what were you saying, that compassionate child. I want my child to be, I'm glad that they're analytical. I'm glad that they're eager to participate in things. I'm glad that they're expressive. You know what I'm saying? Those different characteristics that we want to, come or even the strong will, because I'll be a leader. Yes. So how do I gear or direct this strong will? So what clicked? What clicked for you, parents, to say, okay, this is how I'm going to be intentional to build this up in my child, right? So I know. I think it goes with identifying those qualities in our child, right? Identifying those qualities, learning them, and then help build it up in them. And it takes time, it takes energy, it takes effort, it takes learning. With this whole, with Love for Mom is about, it takes us mothers saying, I don't have it all together. Like I told you just this morning, I went click. Oh, we want to get crazy. And then I kind of, snap back. It takes all that. It takes all that. Yeah, it does. And it's funny because even when you said, even this morning, you drew back. And so the first thing I thought about, and, this is how we talk, but, like, oh, sometimes it make you a punk. Like, whip out, but really, we have to. Because at the end of the day, I'm teaching you, right? And so it's like one of those things where we just have to, okay, I see you. But then at the same time, there's a time for the wrath, and there's time for, because it will, it will come out, right? But I'm serious, but for real, like for me, like I'll tell them, like, you want to see mine, they won't see it, but I just tell them, and they're like, no, I don't. Because it shouldn't be a battle of the strength. But I know for me, it takes a lot for me to get angry. And so one of my things,
they'll see it at times, especially when they were younger, or I don't want to say younger, that sounds so bad because you don't want to show your anger.
Right, when they're young.
When they're
showing off.
But because sometimes there's triggers, the energy you give off to me, I'm like, wait, what's this? But I always told myself, I'm like, okay, if I can control my anger when it comes to outside people, you know, why would I let loose on my children?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So no. We're not going to do that. But then sometimes, because there's been times when the girls, especially, they get older and they feel like they get, raise up.
Right.
Then it's like, okay.
Right.
You really want to do this right now? And it's, but it's one of those teaching moments too, where it's just like, I'm the parent.
Right.
Regardless, I have nothing to prove to you.
Yeah.
So you're gonna do what I said, and that's it. No, for real. I've had to learn that too, because it's like, why do I have to fight my authority? I know who I am, and that's a lot of times when a parent feels challenged, that's where that comes from. Oh, who you talking to? And it's just like, so I've even more so now. I've just been like, oh really? Okay, so go do what I said. Or no, it still means no. Do
you think it's a difference with that? Like when you say it in a calmer voice as opposed to, no, you're going to do what I said. Who you talking to?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Ooh, like, how that one raised up that mama.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm your mama. But it's a difference, right? If you see how you said it when you was calm, and I've learned like when I said things like that, like, no, go do what I said do. It was like, oh, like they knew I was serious because of my tone, but I didn't make that energy, rise up amongst either one of us. So is it better for,
I think it's better. And then sometimes depending on the energy that they're giving off too, then I'll have to say it just as firm, like, okay, no, then I'll get firm with them. But I think the laid back approach, not that it's laid back, but just to call it something, I'll say the calm way. It just shows that I'm in control.
Right.
The situation is controlled. Just go do what I say.
And you're not emotional, and that's going to help them on the job.
Yeah.
Right. And in the real world, because sometimes, and I deal with people every day on my job, but sometimes people want to get a reaction out of you. Yeah. And I've learned being in leadership, if you don't give them that reaction, they can do and say what all they want, but when it comes down to you, I kept my cool, I kept my calm, I was still professional, and that goes longer than anything, right? It says you can learn a lot from a dummy, right? So like when people utter everything and they act a fool, you just sit back and watch, and they what it's a scripture. It's a scripture in Proverbs. Even a fool is considered wise when he hold his peace. It's something. We got to get that scripture, girl.
I was thinking of another one.
I think it's even
take a city. Anyway. We'll find it.
We'll figure that out. But go ahead, cuz.
No, I mean, we're just going back and forth, but it's true. And I feel better, too. But
I do too.
Yeah, I feel better when I do it that way. But then sometimes, we're human, so it's gonna come out, and you go, shoot.
Right. Why did I let them get me there?
Yeah, because I don't like the way I feel, and I tell them all the time, like, listen, I don't like yelling, fussing, and arguing. I don't like the way it makes me feel inside my chest and all that. Like, so that's not my go-to. We can sit and you learn how to communicate. Right. Then we'll have a better time and better outcome.
Right. I wonder, is it different with boys and girls? Even though my oldest is a girl.
Oh, for sure.
But she didn't talk back to me. And I don't know if it was because of my parenting style. When
I knew better.
Young, And or you know what I'm saying? Or if it's just because, she was a girl or a boy or whatever. I don't know, because I find a challenge with my second child too. I think they got kind of like the same parenting. He got a little more grace and mercy. But he's totally opposite from her, Okay. She was more respectful, blah, 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 blah. He's more kind of in my face, where we have had a lot of challenges, but we thank God for what he's doing right now, girl, because he's working a miracle around here. Yes. And I thank God for my husband being in the houses. Yeah. I know everyone don't have a husband, but it's good sometimes to have that that male influence. It's not sometimes good all the time, because I've definitely seen a difference. So women, don't be afraid to, if you have an uncle nephew, a cousin, a neighbor that's willing to step up and help.
Yes, that's important.
You know, don't shoot them away because this is my child. I've seen that happen so many times in people whom I love, like lives, because, you know, they felt like that male was being too hard, because men are totally different than us women, right? Yes. They're more dominant. They're more, this is what I said, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I was telling my husband even about my son yesterday when he came in and asked my son a question, his whole voice melted and changed. And I was like, oh. I said, now I see he's telling a lie. Yeah, I knew it was a lie immediately. Right. I knew it was like, but to me, he was just like, yeah, I did. And I was like, okay, well, I didn't kind of, got the Holy Ghost, that discernment kind of like, but you don't want to think negative, right? But when my husband came and he questioned my son, it was like, oh, you are lying, oh, that is a lie. So it's good. I'm just encouraging, if you have a man in your life that's willing to do manly things with that child, or teach that child manly qualities, or how to be a man, how to work, how to be honest, how to provide, how to take care of business, because my husband is always talking about take care of your business, right. When my sons, we have 5 sons, and I have learned so much to appreciate that, and so, even with my daughters, just, I just learned to appreciate it. So don't push that male figure away. It's good. It's good. Yeah, it is. It's good. Be intentional.
Right. Intentional. No, but it's funny because sometimes, like, I've had neighbors where they, where the father was not in the home and the boy was just giving her a hard time. Yeah. And she'll come knock on the door. Excuse me. Yeah. Can you go talk to this little boy for me? See? And my husband would go and talk to him and get him straight, and he'd be like, good, for a few days. But, but I not so much, to teach, but also sometimes because boys are aggressive. They want to prove,
keep that chest out. They got their chest out.
Yeah. So it's important, because we are so different. We are different.
Because some of them can have their chest out, but in the you think they don't have it out, but they really do. It's like in a more laid back way. They be like, I'm like, oh, okay. But,
and the nurturing, loving part, comes from us, even though, men can show how to love too, but, you definitely don't want them to grow up being like just macho, where they can't show emotion or feeling either. So it's a good balance, but I understand too. A lot of moms, I know, you're doing it by yourself. Yeah. But if you can pull that, a male figure in that you trust, I think it is important. So I'm glad you brought that out too, to say that, because it is, but it can be done. Yes. It can be done, because it takes a village, and us being honest, saying, hey, I don't have this part. Right. But I'm willing to bring somebody in.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I was just thinking, like, I know we could be scared as women, sometimes to let a man in to do that. Right. So what you said, when you have that person you trust, or because we like, this is my daughter, or this is my son. Yeah. Don't do that. I'm sorry. Go ahead. It takes a village.
It does take a village. And then there's sometimes, even though my husband is here in the home, I'll call my dad or my brother, even with my son, because it's all girls. He's the only boy. Right. And he always says, being in here with the girls, he's like, they're annoying. People ask him, how is it with all your sisters? They're annoying. He'll tell you that. Yeah. And sometimes he's like, can I just please go to my cousin's house? So he has a cousin that's his age. Yeah. And so, if my husband is busy or, can't do certain things, I'll put my dad,
that's good,
my brother, to kind of bridge the gap with that too. Yeah. And I have brothers too, Lancaster. So why am I giving
places? Locations.
Yes. But anyway, so he has uncles, and they know and they see. So, but it's important to have that. And it's so funny because, when he was even little, I think when he was 2, he started walking. He just had this stance about him. Yeah. It's like, why he walking like he's 5? He just always had walk with his chest out, and he just always had this magnetic connection. There's a male figure, whether if we were at church, preacher for sure, he would always go to. And so, I watched that too, but, he definitely has that, man thing going. So I love that. But then he's also very sweet to me too. So that balance. Yeah. that balance. I don't know if we went off. Did we go off?
No, we didn't go off. We were still talking about we were still talking about being intentional, and that was a part of being intentional about just like if you don't have a man in the house, you know.
Right.
So that's being intentional, and so we're good. I thank God again for this podcast.
Yeah, me too.
Definitely, being an intentional parent, like I said, takes energy, practice. All right, practice. Time, love, patience, knows, right?
Yeah.
Firmness, using your network, your village, you know who you are. I know I kind of want to say you and your brother and your dad same, you know. I know, but brothers, you know, that's a lot. So,
I know, one more thing could cross my mind. Because I know another thing I'm intentional with my son with too, because I know I have to discipline him at times, and the dad, they get a different response a lot of times, but I know I'm intentional even with him, teaching him how a woman wants to be treated.
Yeah.
Open the door when you're walking down the street. You walk on the outside. So a lot of that stuff I'll teach him too.
Yeah.
So that that's where I put my little sense in.
Yeah.
And then of course he has all his sisters, but right now they fight more than anything. They don't really.
Right. I probably need to teach that more to my sons. My husband kind of teaching that, like, you don't make your mom carry the groceries in. Y'all, you hold the gate for your mom, or you hold the door for your mom, whatever. So y'all let your sister and your mom in the door first. Right. Going in the house. So that is good. Yeah. And I think I kind of need to like reiterate it. I kind of need to sit back like, y'all ain't gonna open the gate. But most of they don't do it. Like, didn't your dad teach that? Yeah. But they do it. So yeah.
But then too, our difference of approach. Right.
Yeah.
So when they say it, they kind of like saying it. Right. Unless you have a teacher dad, but I think our approach is different. We kind of give a little bit more since we like talking anyway. So you want to know why and how and how it makes you feel. We just go more and more in detail.
So serious.
Right.
Like a little counselor and a little heart. Let us get into your heart,
Right. Yeah, but I think a lot of that he saw anyway too, so he would just do it. But still, we have to teach him. But I enjoy these.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
So I guess we're going to close out.
Yes, we are.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. And so also don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and send in your emails or just any type of request or conversation.
Right.
Let us know. You got the email for them?
The email address is withlovefrommom.aw@gmail.com. Yeah, that's what it is. So you can email us too. So topics. So we'll do better at letting you all know topics that we're going to discuss ahead of time. Yeah. So you can send in your questions or even if you have suggestions of topics too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. See you later. Stay tuned.